Alright, so we should be live. Yeah, looks like we are. Alright, perfect. So it's definitely been a while since I've done any live streaming, so feels good to be back. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you tune in to the Twitch streams in the future. Make sure you go down the description down below, and of course, you can find a link there to head over to Twitch, and if you have a Twitch account, make sure you give the stream a follow. And yeah. Also, if you want to purchase TEW 2020, there will also be a link for that down in the description below. So yeah, without that, without anything else without anything else needing to be said, let's get into it. Now, I really haven't played this TCW save or series in general in quite a long time, so I'm kind of a bit behind where I would like to be with. Who's Diva Arnold? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I remember a little bit of what was going on. I think we might have just finished the whole storyline we had going on with Greg Gage. Oh, nice. We got Joshua Taylor taking Primetime Jack Pride under his wing as a protege. That's actually pretty nice. It's good to see. I just want to double check and see if everything's working fine. I mean, it looks like it is, actually. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, the stream is working. All right. So with that said, let's have a look. What are we going to do here? Where are we going to go? So we're expecting 13,000, which isn't too bad. It does have us in the Mid-South region. I guess we want to go the Ranch of San Antonio. We're kind of losing out a lot of potential revenue. We're wasting a lot of potential revenue, I guess. An extra 3,000. Is there a 15,000? There is. But that's unfortunately just one of those locations, not an actual venue. We do have this one. We got the 15,000, so we'll select that venue. Cloverfields. I think that's the one we've been pretty much running on for most of the series. Yeah, let's have a quick look at the storylines before we start booking. What was the last match for this specific storyline? Do we have an actual match at Hotter Than Hell for that? Don't think we did. Yeah, because we just had the guys in the Battle Royale. Okay, interesting. So I guess we will continue with that storyline with Taylor, Sammy Back, and Troy Tornado. Obviously, we've got the tag team title storyline here. And I think we did have the New Wave go over the Elite on Hotter Than Hell. Television title. What did we do for the television title as well? Ed Stone defeating Finley O'Faraday. Okay. Interesting. So the Behemoths are now finished. And I think we will possibly... I don't know if I want to turn one of them. Or just have them split off each other. And of course, we've got the women, and we have our World Heavyweight. Alright, so I think what we'll do for the main event of our first show, just to try and get back into the swing of things, let's have a tag team match. And I think what we'll do is we'll have Aaron Andrews. What am I doing here? Faces. Aaron Andrews and Mighty Mo, and I guess they can team up to take on Maybe we'll bring Greg Gage in, because I think he did finish his storyline. And I think he could actually take a pinfall. And let's do these two teams. Obviously, Jay Court, our world champion, not going to be involved in the match itself. Who was our best road agent? I think it was Oxford, wasn't it? Yeah. Alright, so I think for this match, let's give the victory to... I think it either has to go to Andrews or to Mighty Mo. I think we'll go Mighty Mo. So I think Andrews had the most recent match with Jay Cord. So I think I might try and push towards Mighty Mo becoming the #1 contender. I think that's probably the way we'll go with it anyway. Just making sure that we have indeed gone out. I did put a community post on the YouTube channel as well, just to try and see if anybody would be around. I know it's probably late for a lot of Americans, and of course for pretty much anyone else around the world as well. Okay. Alright, I think that looks good. I think everything should be fine. Anyway, so let's book another match. I think we essentially need a #1 contenders tag team match. And of course, our current champions are the New Wave. Just kind of thinking who would be... I mean, who are our heels? That's a good question. So we do have Rich and Famous. We do still have the Behemoths, although, like I said, they're essentially not going to be a tag team any longer. What I do want to do is we want to bring Rich and Famous up. And I guess... I mean, I'm thinking this match might actually... It might tank our match rating, or our show rating, I should say, because obviously both these teams might be insignificant in relation to our sort of pushes and our fan impressions. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. Hopefully, I mean, we're just trying to increase their popularity, realistically. I think we need a women's match as well. We need somebody that's relatively popular. I mean, let's go Alina. I think Alina can get a victory over somebody. Maybe... Let's go Katya Kornishkova. Not too sure if it's, going to be a good match. There's relatively low popularity from both of them, but... JD, how you going, man? I'm pretty good. How am I liking TEW 2020? I mean, I'm liking it a lot. Over on the YouTube channel, I've been running a local to global, which I've actually been having a lot of fun with. What am I looking at? Skills, yeah. Her psychology is really bad. So we'll script that there. Go decisive for Alina as well. Alright, that looks pretty good. I think we did end that storyline for Greg Gage. So what I'll do is I'm going to actually put him in to the... Where is he? Greg Gage. Is he there? There he is. Okay. So we'll chuck him into the World Heavyweight title storyline. We might... No, that's fine. I suppose we kind of need Wolf in there as well. And he's not really doing too much. Anyway, up next, I think I want to go Nikki Gilbert. And we'll use our Thunder from Down Under stable. So where's Nikki? Nikki Gilbert. I think he's going to team up with Will Beaumont. And they can take on Maybe the Latino Kings. And again, that's kind of a risky match to be doing. But I mean, I feel like we kind of need to do it at the moment anyway. Let's give Will Beaumont the victory. It will have to be scripted. And there we go. Okay, what's next? I think... What other storylines do we have? I mean, we need Killer Shark in a match. Let's just give Killer Shark a squash match, I think. Who's unimportant? I mean, we have a lot of people that are unimportant at the moment. Let's go with Yuri Yoshihara from the Pride Glory Excursion stable that we have going. And I think he can actually take on... He can take on Killer Shark in maybe like an 8-minute match. I don't want to like bury the young Japanese star, but it definitely doesn't need to be... I mean, let's have him dominate. It's going to be 8 minutes, but we'll have him dominate anyway. And I don't think this guy can... Actually, I don't think he's actually involved in the stable that we created. He might be, but I'm not 100% sure. Can't exactly remember. Anyway, up next. I'm kind of thinking, what else do we actually need? We could maybe... Let's do Storm Spillane, and he can take on one member of the New Wave. I mean, the roster is so big, especially with all the women on here now. It really, it's looking pretty confusing. Anyway, so Storm Spillane, I think he can take on... do we want to go Guide or Scout? I think Guide is the better of the two, so let's go Guide. We will give that 12 minutes. It's going to be like a proper match there. Okay, what actual matches do we need? We need Storytelling and Wild Brawl. Let's make this our Wild Brawl match, because it's probably going to be pretty bad anyway. And then I guess this one can be our Storytelling. What I might do here as well, actually, is... Because I think we were kind of getting towards a stable fight. So we're going to have Gotta Wear Shades eventually taking on Thunder from Down Under. So let's have Nikki Gilbert be attacked by, I guess, Primetime Jack Pride. I think we actually did that match on the pre-show. So I might actually add that in as a new stable. New storyline, not stable. It is the, let's call it Stable Warfare. Alright. And then it's going to be Jack Pride, Moriarty Schnell, Willie LaRue, well, yeah, Nikki Gilbert. And then we need to add in Will Beaumont, who is going to be a massive, massive star for us. And then finally, Ty Pomero as well. Alright, so that's going to be our Stable Warfare. I guess it's an interesting sort of storyline to be doing. So that'll work for that. And I think we can do an angle before the match, maybe from all 3 members of Gotta Wear Shades. How much time do we have left? We've got 27 more minutes minimum to book. What I think we might do, let's do a 6-man tag. We still do have the Syndicate around, so I know I said I was going to get rid of them, but let's actually go for it. Kind of thinking about putting Ernest in the Syndicate. And maybe we'll just, instead of getting rid of it, we might just rejig it a little bit. So let's do it this. Let's do it this way. All right. So we'll go Wolf and we'll go the Elite. Where is Wolf Hawkins? Or did we put Wolf in the main event? Oh, I did. Okay, what I'll do, let's do a tag match instead. So we'll go the Elite. And I think they can take on... it doesn't really matter too much. Maybe Benny and the Fox. That's fine. But what we'll do, we'll make it 12 minutes. And then we'll have Johnson get the victory. However, it is going to be a tainted victory. And there's going to be an interference. Maybe a distraction. We'll go a distraction onto Benny Benson by Ernest. I think that should be fine. Kind of want that to be the finish of the match as well. That's fine. I mean, I don't really care about a penalty. We might need to reduce all these matches by 2 minutes. Just because I want to get in some angles as well. They don't necessarily need to be longer than 10 minutes. Because it's only on TV, so yeah, it really just doesn't matter. And I guess, yeah, this one as well. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Let's do some angles. Now I want to go for Andrews and Mighty Mo, because they are going to be the winning team. And I guess that'll advance our World Heavyweight storyline. So that'll go there. Then I think, I mean, I really do want to build up Rich and Famous. But I just don't think they have the popularity yet. I mean, they're getting close. They're 26 in the Mid-South. Yeah, I mean, this victory will be pretty good for them overall, I think. But let's go a 4-minute Killer Shark Menace angle. We'll make Joel Bryant the road agent there. So that'll go before his sort of weird... It's not exactly a squash match. But it's more just a match that he's really, really dominating. Up next, let's go Primetime Jack Pride. Where is he? Hello? Am I missing something? Where's Jack Pride? I am very, very confused. He should be in P, shouldn't he? Or did I change his name? He's not in J either. What's going on? Where's my, let me go to the roster for a second. I'm very confused. Yeah, oh. Okay. Now I know why. I think I put the quotation marks. So he's literally right at the top. Okay. Then we'll go Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue. I mean, that was really strange. I do want to give them 8 minutes. Do I want to script them, though? How you going, Papri? Or Papi Pre? Should probably say your name properly. Yeah, I've kind of misplaying it as well myself, to be fair. I was really enjoying the live streams back in the day. So we'll chuck that, advance the Stable Warfare storyline we've got going on there as well. So yeah, that's going to be before Thunder from Down Under's match. And then, of course, there's going to be some shenanigans going on there as well. And then I think to start the show off, I want to have Ernest. And he's going to be, I guess, backstage talking to Wolf Hawkins. Hopefully we have enough time to do this angle as well. I guess let's call it... I guess Ernest is seen backstage. Talking to Wolf Hawkins. There we go. All right, so we got a little bit more time. I mean, we've got 5 minutes. I could maybe stick in another angle somewhere. Maybe for Alina America. Actually, that would actually make a lot of sense. Let's do that. So I need to take 1 minute off somewhere. Essentially just take it from this. It really doesn't matter. That's just a domination match. And then I think I'll give Alina America 6 minutes. Do I use interviews? I don't use actual interviews. I always use the freestyle angles, but I'll make an interview, you know. I'll make one myself and essentially label it as an interview. What have I done here? I've messed my complete order up. So that needs to go down. Let's go down a few more, actually. There we go. All right, that looks pretty good, but I want to do a couple of pre-show matches. Let's do a singles match. And I think we want to have... Let's have Jay Cord take on... Where is he? Ty Primero. Give that match a bit of time. To work its magic. Of course, our world champion Jay Cord there. I think it has to be scripted. I'm not 100% sure about Ty. I mean, he's pretty close. He's only at 53. But it does need to be scripted, so there we go. So that's... Oops, needed to make pre-show. Yeah, Kyle... I think Kyle Rhodes... Because Kyle Rhodes is the character that I'm playing as. So, he's the interviewer. Yeah. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. Usually I just use it to like, get the people that need a bit of extra popularity over. That are kind of new workers. I've used it a few times with Ernest Youngman. Of course, Thunder from Down Under. And then, of course, Gotta Wear Shades as well. Just giving them a nice little popularity boost from the get-go, essentially. Alright, so let's have Fat 40s take on... I guess I should be adding Schnell and LaRue as a tag team together. I mean, the amount of times we've used them in a tag team match together, they would have had, you know, a somewhat decent experience level, probably about 15 or 20. I also need to stop giving them losses as well. Even though it's on the pre-show, I feel like the losses kind of hurt. Ooh, okay, so Alina's being used too much. You reduce that to there. That should be fine for her. And then let's go for Brent Hill. I think Hapstander had too much to do as well. Was it Hapstander? Yeah. Alright, so let's go Ray. I guess we can go Ray for... Oh, Ray's doing that one as well. Alright, there we go. Let's do one more match. Let's go a women's tag match. The women need a lot of work, if we're being honest. So let's go Danielle Sweetheart and Calliope Woodchuck. And they can take on Black Diamond and Spider Asako. Yeah, why not? Let's go Brent Hill, Ray Johnson, and then we'll give the victory to Danielle Sweetheart. And I think that looks pretty good. But it does need to be on the pre-show. I'm really just not used to booking pre-show matches anymore. Alright, so I think that looks pretty good for our first show of the live stream. Let's run it. Alright, so we start off with a 49 rated women's tag match on the pre-show. Danielle Sweetheart and Calliope Woodchuck defeating Black Diamond and Spider Asako in just under 12.5 minutes when Danielle Sweetheart pinned Spider Asako with a super kick. And yeah, Danielle Sweetheart looking good, carrying the match as well. We then go into another 49 pre-show match where we have Fat 40s defeating Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue in just under 12 minutes when Tanner the Mighty pinned Moriarty with a big fat Samoan squash. And yeah, Moriarty being the weak link in this match. We then go to a 76 rated pre-show match, which is pretty crazy, but again, it is Jay Cord, and he defeats Ty Pomero in just under 12 minutes by pinfall with a cradle pile driver, getting a 91 in-ring performance there. Probably should have put that on the main show. It definitely would have helped Ty Pomero quite a bit. Alright, so we then start the show off with an 84 rated angle. Unfortunately, Ernest looked dreadful in the segment, and he also didn't do too well without a script, but I guess the premise behind this is, obviously, Ernest is seen backstage talking to Wolf Hawkins, and of course, I guess the announcers would put over the fact that, you know, there's some possibility that Wolf might be trying to recruit some of the newer members to the roster to his stable, the Syndicate. And of course, that's the premise behind Ernest being in the angle. We then go to a 62 rated match where we have the Elite of the Syndicate defeating Benny and the Fox in 9:44 when Nate Johnson pinned Benny Benson with an elitism after a distraction from Ernest Youngman. And yeah, that was the finish to the match. 62 is not great, but as you can see, it is the 4th time we've had this match done recently, so it struggled a little bit, but that's okay. It was more just the fact that we wanted to get Ernest in there. Alright, we then go to a bit of a random throwaway match, getting a 56. And we have Guide of the New Wave defeating Storm Spillane of the American Cobras in 10:16 by pinfall with a guided missile. This match just to try and, you know, build Storm up a little bit, get him on TV, and hopefully get a bit of a popularity rub, even though he's taken a loss. We then go to an 86 rated Menace angle from Killer Shark, who is essentially our sort of standout prospect at the moment. Really looking decent. I kind of want to change his picture. I should probably do that. I think I do have it in the picture file at the moment. Anyway, 86 is really good. Going into a bit of a squash match, getting a 41. It's not exactly a squash, but it is a match that Killer Shark did dominate, but we gave it a little bit of time. Anyway, Killer Shark defeating Yuri Yoshihara in 6:44 by pinfall with a big bite. Just another win, just more momentum, I guess, for Killer Shark at this point. We then go to a 53 rated angle from Gotta Wear Shades, of course, one of our newest sort of stables. Probably one of our brightest stables we also have. And as you can see, despite having relatively low popularity, all three of them doing some good stuff here. All three working well. 2 of them working well without a script. And then, yeah, Moriarty benefiting from having a hot catchphrase there as well. 53 is actually pretty good when their popularity is as low as it is. We then go to a really bad match. I thought this was going to be the sort of case because there's just not enough popularity between these 2 teams at the moment. Or these 4 workers, I should say. So a 37. It looks really bad, but at the same time, I don't know. We just have to try and... I want to try and build these guys up as fast as possible. And I don't want them taking too many losses, if that makes sense. Yeah, we got Nikki Gilbert and Will Beaumont defeating the Latino Kings in 9:47 when Will Beaumont pinned Hector Galindo with a rocker dropper. During the match, we also had Primetime Jack Pride run in and attack Gilbert. And as you can see, Nikki Gilbert carrying the match with a 51 in-ring. I guess it also cooled the crowd down a little, so, I mean, it's not too bad. We then go into a 62 rated angle from Alina America. Of course, I would say one of the standouts in our women's division. I think there's Alina, Danielle, Sweetheart, Tiffany Jade. I feel like those 3 are kind of it, to be honest. We do need some more women. We need some more talented women as well. But I think they're a good starting block anyway for our newly founded women's division. But yeah, she did well without a script there as well. Unfortunately, her match, again, both workers should be on the pre-show according to the fans. This one getting a 39, so I'm going to have to scale back the push that I'm trying to give certain people at the moment. And we're going to have to probably just use the more established workers. I really just want to, try and speed their growth up a little bit. Anyway, we've got Alina America defeating Katya Kornishkova in 8:26 by pinfall with a Southern Lights bomb. Moving into another one of these matches, again, it's just me trying to boost their popularity up as quick as possible. And obviously it's not working too well, but we get a 39 for this tag team match where we have Rich and Famous defeating the Puerto Rican boys in 9:40 when Jake Idol pinned Kid San Juan with a reality check. Of course, we've got the great chemistry between these guys, tag team specialists as well. But again, the crowd had zero investment in the match, really. Alright, but we then come back a little bit. We get a 91 rated pre-main event angle where we have the face team of our main event being Aaron Andrews and Mighty Mo. And they're basically just saying that they want to be on the same page. They're not going to have any real issues with each other. And they both, they both believe they deserve to be the number one contender. Obviously, Aaron Andrews probably less so because he just lost against Jay Cord at the last pay-per-view. But I think Mighty Mo's lost against Jay Cord as well. So, yeah, I mean, they're going into the main event. Should be a pretty good main event, actually. It's not too bad. We get an 82 rating for our main event here, where we have Aaron Andrews and Mighty Mo defeating Greg Gage and Wolf Hawkins in 20 minutes and 3 seconds, when Mighty Mo pinned Wolf Hawkins with a plunging spinebuster. 82's probably about what I would expect, especially with the way the series has gone recently. Unfortunately, the show's not too good, though. As you can see, we only get a 79, which has actually lost us popularity in 12 regions, which I assume is most of the US regions and a couple of maybe Canadian regions as well. Anyway, we're going to learn from that. I'm not going to use as many of our sort of newer, less popular workers. We're going to have to just use them, I guess, sparingly to an extent. And possibly just have them lose a little bit more until they're able to come up a little bit. Anyway, we got Zoe Amos joining TCW. We managed to snatch her away from CWA. And she is very, very, very talented. But unfortunately, she also falls into the same sort of category. Doesn't really have the popularity in America, which is essentially the biggest downfall of a lot of our workers at the moment. Anyway, we get a 4.36 TV rating there, just under 3.3 million viewers. Anyway, let's take a look at something. Now, I want to have a look at, about to take a sip of water, but let me take a look at Nikki Gilbert. So, as you can see, he's only up to 25 popularity. That's the problem we're having at the moment. Will Beaumont, again, only at 20 popularity. Willie LaRue is up to 28. I guess the thing is I maybe just have to use them in angles going forward, at least just to build up the popularity. It's just tough. It's really tough to try and get them up to scratch with the rest of the roster and how popular everyone is. All right, Ryan Schmant, thank you for following, man. I appreciate it. I am doing very well. Yeah, the C-Verse is something, either people really like the C-Verse or they don't like it. So I'm hoping you do come around. It's just so vast. It's so much, in my opinion, it's so much more, I feel like it's more interesting than a real world mod. I don't know why, but I think it's just because everything is, especially when you first start playing it, everything is so new. There's so many possibilities, so many like different creative possibilities that you can use as well going forward. And it really just doesn't matter what type of series or save, you're doing at that specific time. Oh, that's awesome, man. AEW save you're sticking with almost a year in. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Once you get past like a certain point in a save, you can generally stick with it once you start to, do your own thing essentially, and you have a good thing going. Rob Perkins, referee. He's not too great. We could always get in Rogue. Yeah, I mean, I kind of don't want to get Rogue in. Kurt Laramie. Too old as well, probably. I mean, Ricky DeColt would be an interesting one. Of course, he used to be with North of the Border. Well, actually, he was with CGC, not North of the Border. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be worth it. Again, just another project for us to have to work up. All right, let's just get into the next TV show. All right. Nice little sneeze there. All right, what are our backstage incidents here? You got Parker Terry lifting the locker room. Eddie Chandler and what is this? Wrestlers caught there for Finley O'Faraday. And yeah, Joshua Taylor passing on tips on using psychology to Primetime Jack Pride. Nice, I like that. Beneficial. Anyway, we're going to make this show a lot better than the last one. I think we're going to go Cloverfields again. The only thing is that the ranch of San Antonio is a hotbed, and it has a higher importance as well. But again, we're going to be losing out on potentially an extra 2,500 fans. Jaron Ullet, champions. I mean, they're exactly the same as we left off. So Jay Cord, world heavyweight. New Wave are our tag champs. Our newly crowned women's champion, Tiffany Jade. Ed Stone, still the television champion. And we are yet to run the King of Kings tournament title. Almost forgot what it was called for a second there. Alright, so I guess for this main event, let's go a number one contenders match. And I think it needs to be Mighty Mo taking on somebody. Now the question is, who is he going to take on? Is it going to be Wolf or is it going to be Greg Gage? I think let's go Wolf. And I think we'll go 20 minutes with it. And I do think Mighty Mo needs to get the victory. I do want him to be the person to take on Jay Cord. Let's do that. Let's go a tag team title match. Just something to throw away, I guess. So let's go with the New Wave, and they can take on, I guess, Rich and Famous, because they did get a victory last week. So let's actually give that 12 minutes. World Tag Team titles on the line. Unfortunately, they're not going to have enough to get it done. But I'm just hoping that it will like boost Rich and Famous up, even though it's a loss. The match itself should be good enough. All right, up next, I think we'll go a triple threat match as well for our television champion. I guess the real question is, who do we want to use, though? Let's throw Bart Biggins in there. Always good for a pinfall loss. Brandon James is still up there. I should find something for Brandon James to do. Finley Faraday can go in there as well. And then I think maybe we go... maybe Roderick Remus. Actually, let's go T-Bone Bright. And I think I want to give T-Bone Bright the victory. Yeah, I think that's kind of fitting. And then I'll have T-Bone Bright take on Ed Stone, even though they are face versus face. But what I think I'll do is have... Anyway, without spoiling too much, we'll have some interference in that title match. Our next match, let's go with... I want to see what Nikki Gilbert can do against... Actually, instead of Gilbert, let's go Will Beaumont, because Will is essentially going to be our figurehead going forward in the future once we're able to build him up a little bit more. In case you haven't noticed, Will Beaumont is probably, in my opinion, one of the best figurehead potential in the game. After the show, yeah, we can take a look through the teams and stables. As you can see, 100 star quality. He's got 91 charisma there as well. Not too bad on the microphone. Does need some work, though, of course, in the ring. But everything else, I mean, is an amazing babyface there as well. He is, or he looks like he will be the best figurehead possible that we have at the moment. And of course, he's on a 10-year contract, ironclad. So I think we're in for a good time when it comes to him. Anyway, we'll have him take on, I think, Greg Gage, I said. So there we go. Just a nice little victory there for Greg. That should be a good match. Up next, let's go a 6-man tag, and I think we'll just use a few random people together. Let's go Brandon James, and he can be teaming up with maybe Ed Stone, the current television champion, and Sammy back. Yeah, it sounds good. And they can take on... Let's go with Maverick, Nick Booth, and... I mean, I was going to go Titan, but I kind of don't want to waste Titan's popularity. Let's go Roderick Remus. It can just be 10 minutes, that's fine. Let's give Ed Stone the victory, as he is a current champion. I think we can call this match, actually. Just double check Nick Booth for a second. Yeah, he's got 64 psych. Should be fine. So that's kind of just a bit of a throwaway match. Let's do some angles. So I want to go for a Wolf Hawkins angle. Prior to before the main event. And then I think I want to go with a Jay Cord angle onto Mighty Mo after. Have a bit of back and forth between these two. So that'll be post main event. What else do we need? Maybe Greg Gage. That can go there. Let's keep booking. We'll book another match here as well. I think we maybe want one of our... So who are we doing in this stable? Where is it? Number 1 contenders. So Troy and Sammy, but I think we're already using Sammy, aren't we? Maybe if I do put... let's put Troy Tornado in this match. Let me just adjust it. Instead of Nick Booth, let's go Troy Tornado. Because he does actually fit the storyline. Or one of our storylines. Give Roderick the loss there. And then I guess we can actually open the show with a Sammy back. Yeah, let's do this. So Sammy back, Troy Tornado. And then we'll have Brandon James come out along with who was the other member? It was Brandon James and Maverick. Also need to rename that. There we go. All right. So Maverick. So Sammy, Troy, Brandon, and Maverick. All right. So I guess we'll do that, and then we'll go a fighting angle for these two, and then I guess. Yeah, we'll just have the other two guys. So Brandon James and Maverick will come out to essentially split them up. And that's going to advance that storyline. We'll also make that the storytelling match as well. Beaumont reminds me of Valiant. Yeah, I think that's kind of a fair similarity. They definitely look the same, or they look very similar. Let's make this match our car crash. Is it car crash? No, it's Wild Brawl, isn't it? Alright, there we go. But yeah, we do want another match. Let me take another look at the storylines here. I mean, we've essentially used everything. We can maybe... Oh, we haven't used the women yet. We need a women's match. Let's do a triple threat #1 contenders match for our women's championship. Let's have Alina. Let's have... I guess... Well, Tiffany is the champion. So let's go Danielle Sweetheart, and then... Is Zoe a heel? I think she is, yeah. And then we'll go Zoe in there as well. We'll give them 12 minutes, and I think we'll give Zoe a victory on debut. And I think, yeah, we definitely want Alina to be the loser. I really don't want to... Oh, not Danielle. We want Alina to be the loser. There we go. Just want to keep Danielle a little bit stronger. Alright, so what's going on? Didn't we do a Wild Brawl already for this match? I could have sworn that I saved that. Maybe not. Anyway. We'll also work the crowd with that. That on Bryant. This on Bryant as well. Too much road agency. Alright, so then on the pre-show, let's just do a let's do a tag match actually first. And let's have we'll go Ty Pomero and Nikki Gilbert, and they can take on I guess they can take on... I mean, we can do the Latino Kings again. I mean, that was essentially the match we did on TV just recently. We'll give Nikki Gilbert the victory this time. So Latino Kings taking on Thunder from Down Under. And then next we'll go... Let's go with a 6-man. And we want Jack Pride. And he's going to team up with Moriarty and Willie LaRue. And they're going to take on... I guess we could probably go some decent people in the match. I mean, they're going to lose anyway, so we may as well. Let's go the American Cobras teaming up with Aaron Andrews to take on Gotta Wear Shades. And we will give Aaron Andrews the victory there as well. I mean, that'll essentially be our pre-show main event. Then we'll go one final match. I mean, who else is left? We've got such a big roster. Let's go with Killer Shark and Mark Speed to take on... Let's go with Divine Fortune. They weren't on the last TV show either, so we'll get them on the pre-show here. And we'll give Killer Shark the victory here again. Does he have enough psychology to call matches? I think he does, yeah, 67. Alright, so pre-show. That needs to be Hap Stander, the referee. No? What's our problem now? Oh, that's Oxford. My bad. Bryant, there we go. Alright. That looks pretty good. We can maybe put that one down there. Yeah, let's run the second TV show. Starting off with our first pre-show match. We get a 46 for Nikki Gilbert and Ty Primero defeating the Latino Kings in 12:30 when Nikki Gilbert pinned Hector Galindo with a fisherman's suplex. Interesting. I don't think we've ever actually seen this, but Nikki Gilbert and Ty Primero showed excellent chemistry teaming together. So we actually got a proper tag team in Thunder from Down Under. And that's actually a good thing, because at the moment, Nikki Gilbert is the quote-unquote leader of Thunder from Down Under. And of course, Will Beaumont is the heir to the leadership. But Will become the leader down the line a little bit. So yeah, that's very interesting. And we could actually make these two a proper tag team going forward as well. Very beneficial to find that excellent chemistry. Anyway, we move on to a 64 rated pre-show match where we have Killer Shark and Mark Speed defeating Divine Fortune in 12:07. We had Killer Shark pin Chance Fortune with a big bite. Just a bit of a throwaway tag team match. And our final pre-show match, we get a 63 rating. We have Aaron Andrews and the American Cobras defeating Gotta Wear Shades, of course, Primetime Jack Pride, Moriarty Schnell, and Willie LaRue in just over 12 minutes. When Aaron Andrews pinned Primetime Jack Pride with a flying body press. And yeah, as you'd expect, Aaron Andrews head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. Marvel off his game. Alright, so we then start the show off with a 57 rated women's triple threat #1 contenders match, where we have Zoe Amos defeating Alina America and Danielle Sweetheart in 11:52 when Zoe Amos pinned Alina America with a double cross, and we had Danielle Sweetheart carrying the match, as you would kind of expect. Unfortunately, Zoe Amos debuting her sneaky villain gimmick, getting an initial rating of poor, so yeah, I mean, it's a good gimmick because it's marketable, will sell more merchandise, and also gives a small boost to psychology. But it just sucks that it's getting an initial rating of poor. So she's got a lot of work to do to try and turn that around a little bit. Anyway, she's the #1 contender anyway for the next pay-per-view, which of course is Destructive Energy. And she'll be taking on... Actually, she's a heel. I probably should have had a face winner, because obviously Tiffany Jade, our current champion, is a heel. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. We then move into an 83 rated angle here, where we have Sammy back cutting an angle onto Troy Tornado, who doesn't take too kindly to the words that Sammy is saying. And of course, Troy Tornado then runs up the entrance ramp and attacks Sammy before Brandon James and Maverick come out for their respective partners and pull things apart. not too bad. Obviously, Sammy primarily rated on entertainment, and Troy was rated on fighting, so probably, yeah, as you can see, he underperformed, so it definitely dragged the overall angle down a little bit. It's a pretty good match, though. We get a 74 for our 6-man tag. We have Brandon James, Ed Stone, and Sammy back, defeating Maverick, Troy Tornado, and Roderick Remus in 10-11, when Ed Stone pinned Roderick Remus with a parties over. Yeah, it's just a good match, really. Happy with that. We then go into a 95 rated angle from Greg Gage. And again, doing well off script. Pretty close to 100, only 5 points away. And of course, he's taken on Will Beaumont in the next match. That's a pretty good match. Yeah, back in Tornado, definitely a blood food. The thing is, Troy Tornado just always sees Sammy back as being above him, and Sammy always, Sammy quite often finds himself in the opportunity section of our roster where he's always, there or thereabouts at the top of the card. And yeah, definitely a blood feud. I mean, it's more just, I guess, anger from Troy Tornado that he's not. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've essentially been feuding for like the last 3 months, back when I was live streaming before. Anyway, we've got Greg Gage here defeating Will Beaumont in an 80 rated match in 11:38 by submission with a proton lock. I think Greg's ready. He's definitely ready to be involved in that World Heavyweight title storyline. Kind of unfortunate that he is a heel, and obviously Jay Cord at the moment is a heel as well. But we might be able to factor him in somehow. Somehow, some way. Anyway, I'm super happy with an 80 rated match involving Will Beaumont. That's massive. Alright, we then go straight into a triple threat number 1 contenders match. We've had 2 of these tonight. This one is for the television title, getting a 71 rating. And we have T-Bone Bright defeating Bart Biggins and Finley O'Faraday in 11:43 when T-Bone pinned Finley with a T-Bone lariat. And yeah, T-Bone was head and shoulders above everybody else. Bart being the weak link, which is interesting. Good to see Finley getting a 61, because his popularity is pretty low. It's starting to get up there a little bit. He was also off his game, so potentially could have been even better than he actually was. Moving into a 74 rated tag team match here for the tag titles, the world tag titles. And we have the New Wave defeating Rich and Famous in just over 12 minutes when Scout submitted Jackpot Jordan with a Texas Cloverleaf, and the New Wave make defense number 3 of the TCW World Tag Team titles. 74 is actually a really good rating considering Rich and Famous are lacking massively in popularity. So I'm hoping it's going to be beneficial. We then go into a 97 rated angle from Wolf Hawkins. As you can see, color commentary and announcing both letting us down there, which kind of sucks. But we do have a new, we have Dwayne Frye coming in to be a new announcer, so things will hopefully pick up on that department a little bit. It's actually good to see that Mitch Nace, who is our current announcer, didn't actually get penalized, so could be a big positive coming in that department very soon. Anyway, he's basically saying that he's going to become the number 1 contender for Jay Cord's World Heavyweight title here tonight, and he's going to beat Sammy back. The main event does really well. We get an 84, which is, I would say, pretty decent for TV. But we do have Mighty Mo defeating Wolf Hawkins in 1954 by pinfall with a plunging spinebuster, and Mighty Mo becomes the number 1 contender for the World Heavyweight title. Yeah, I mean, that's good. Again, lacking in the announcing, deserve better commentary as well. And finally, we finish off the show with a 99 rated angle here, where we have Jay Cord come out and confront his new number 1 contender in Mighty Mo. And of course, J Cord says that he's beaten him before. He's going to beat him again. You know, there's no way that Mighty Mo is going to be able to take the world title off him. You know, he just beat Aaron Andrews, who is, in his eyes, he says Aaron Andrews is a much better competitor than Mighty Mo. So real disrespect there from the world champion. Okay, interesting. We get an 86 overall rating, which is very good. The show increasing our popularity in 23 regions. However, we got a penalty here, and it says we would have gained popularity in one Canadian region, but growth was restricted due to the limited number of viewers there. That's interesting. I guess one of the regions, I'm assuming it's probably the lowest region we actually have popularity in. And we didn't actually gain any popularity there, so it's a little bit strange, Pre-booking, Maritimes. It might have been Maritimes, yeah. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care. Alright, so we've got an opinion here from Mighty Mo. He thinks that Primetime Jack Pride is money, and that we should strap a rocket to the kid, which is more or less essentially what I was trying to do. Anyway, we get a 4.56 TV rating there, which is very good. Actually up a little bit from the last one. I think we had under 3.3 million viewers on the last TV show, so we're above 3.4 now, so that's good. Sort of back to where we need to be. Looks like SWF is struggling a little bit. I mean, their main event was only a 79. Overall show getting a 78 for them, so yeah, not great. Not great at all. Anyway, let me show you guys the current stables. I know, who was it? It was Jaron that was asking about it. So yeah, and of course Noah, as you can see, he was the namer, the person to name this stable here. Gotta wear shades. And yeah. Primetime Jack Pride, Moriarty Schnell, and Willie LaRue probably going to be our, let's say, our leading heel stable in the future. But obviously they're very raw, very young at the moment, so they need a little bit more work. But if we look at all their skills, they've all got the good star quality, and they're all good on the microphone as well. My favorite would have to be Moriarty Schnell. I just think that he's probably just that little bit better than everybody else when it comes to star quality and charisma and stuff. So, not too sure, but Jack Pride's going to be the leader. And finally, we got Willie LaRue in here as well, who has less star quality, but he's the much better in-ring talent than the other two. So there we go. We still got the Sinner Society. I don't really like it that much. I think we might just... I kind of want to scrap this stable, but keep the name, because I really do like Sinner Society. And it could actually be a really good women's stable in the future that we could use. And it kind of looks like a women's stable just in general. I don't really know why it's Eddie Peake's stable. It kind of isn't fitting for sort of a massive, you know, powerhouse stable. Anyway, weird. We got the Syndicate, which I was going to scrap originally. But I think we're going to bring it back. We're going to get rid of Chris Flynn out of there. We might keep him around. I might actually make him the manager and possible tag team partner of Ernest Youngman, who I think is going to be the next member into the Syndicate. And then finally, we got Thunder from Down Under, who was named by Will Miller 87. And yeah, Thunder from Down Under is actually a male strippers group in real life. But there we go. We've got Nikki Gilbert, the leader, Will Beaumont, the heir to the leadership, and then Ty Pomero. All three of them are Australian, hence the Thunder from Down Under. Okay. The teams, pretty self-explanatory. We got Divine Fortune, Fat 40s, which is Dave Diamond and Tanner the Mighty. We've got Rich and Famous, the American Cobras, the Behemoths, which will be split up very soon. officially. We've still got the Elite. We've got the Latino Kings in there as well. The New Wave were reformed. And then finally, we've got the Puerto Rican boys. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. I just want to check out backstage. I mean, it's 100. Probably do some more with the medaling there. Anyway, doesn't matter too much. Let's advance. I'm gonna get into the next TV show. All right, so we've pretty much got all of our number one contenders now. We've got Mighty Mo. We've got T-Bone Bright. We've got Zoe Amos. We are going to go with a few face versus face and heel versus heel matches, but that's perfectly fine. We don't really have a number one contender for the tag titles. We could essentially just go the Elite again and have the Elite take on the New Wave. That would probably be the smartest thing for us to do again. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so the story behind the New Wave reuniting was basically Wolf Hawkins was getting really, really frustrated with Doc Hammond. And then I think Doc cost Wolf Hawkins a couple of matches. And then essentially Wolf Hawkins kicked Doc Hammond, which is Scout, out of the stable, out of the Syndicate. And then yeah. Guide was involved, or One Man Army, as he was called back then, was involved in a bit of a weird storyline with Maverick and Finley O'Faraday, where they were kind of teaming up against him and constantly getting involved in his matches. And yeah, Doc Hammond returned, and yeah, they joined up and started to take on Maverick and Finley O'Faraday. Alright, so Kira Lee. I mean, I probably should have gone for Kira Lee. But yeah, Killer Cass is actually being offered a contract by CWA. I don't particularly want to get her. The only thing is she does have really good popularity. And she would be a good heel for us, but I don't know. I'm kind of hesitant, I guess. I mean, Tony Thorpe's a pretty good referee there as well. Maybe going for Sterling Whitlock, who I do really like the look of. I mean, he's good, but the thing is he going to be anything better than what we already have? And we already have a massive roster. I don't think he is, especially as a heel. But there's Nick Booth. Nick Booth is now gone. We let his contract run out. He just didn't have any popularity, so I didn't really see him as a big loss if we were going to lose him. Anyway, let's get into the next show. Yeah, and he's a troublemaker. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but... Alright, so we've got Zoe Amos in Wrestler's Court, and she's got a small positive impact upon her as well. That's not too bad. We're almost expecting 15,000 people here, so... We're getting pretty close to possibly selling out Clover Fields, which is nice. And I guess the real question is, what do we want to do for a main event here? I think I want to do... Let's essentially do the match that we were going to do. Well, it's essentially the six-man tag that we did already. So let's have Sammy back. Who was who was the person that got involved? I've completely forgotten. It was... Oh, yeah, Brandon James. Okay. Bit of a risky main event, but it should be fine. Let's go with Sammy back and Brandon James. And they can take on Troy Tornado. And I think we'll go with Joshua Taylor in there as well, because Taylor was involved in that whole storyline with Sammy back and Troy Tornado. I think we'll go... Yeah, we have to go with Sammy back to get the victory here. I was gonna change it up a little bit, but I don't think I will. And Oxford. I guess let me go back to Hotter Than Hell. Who did? I don't think they versed each other, did they? What about Summer Showdown? Yeah, so they versed each other there. So I think we'll do it again. We'll do it again. So let me make Joshua Taylor the loser here. And I think that should be a pretty good match. At least I think it can get an 80. An 80 would be the sort of minimum that I would want. Anyway, up next, let's go with... Let's have the Elite take on Fat 40s. And I guess that will be essentially our #1 contenders match for the tag titles themselves. That's not too bad. What next? Let's have... I think I want to go with... I want to go Mighty Mo. Let's go Mighty Mo, and I think he can take on Moriarty Schnell. It's a nice, easy match, but essentially what's going to happen after the match is kind of the whole point here. So we'll do that one. I think I'll get this booked in as well, nice and quick. So it's going to be Jay Cord. And he's essentially just going to come out and cut an angle onto Mighty Mo after Mo's match. I book quickly. I mean, sometimes I book quickly. Sometimes it takes me quite a long time, but I feel like when I have an idea in my head, it's best to just try and go with my idea rather than overthink it, because the more I think about things, the more I kind of talk myself out of doing it. So sometimes it's best to just go quick, you know. What else do we want to do? Let's go another 6-man tag. Makes it very enjoyable. Okay. That's a good thing. Sometimes I was thinking that it might not be as enjoyable for people to watch. What do I want to do here, though? Maybe we go Thunder from Down Under. So Ty, and we'll go Will. I think we're going to have to give them a loss, though, because that's the only real way I can actually... We could give them a win. Let's see who we've got here, actually. We essentially need people with, like, 40+ popularity. I don't really think we have any heels that are kind of at that level. We got Chris Flynn. We have Ernest, but I don't particularly want to put Ernest in that position, or Finley, because they are two of the guys that we've been building up recently. I mean, we could go Chris Flynn and Rich and Famous. I mean, even doing that kind of feels pretty cheap. Let's do it. Actually, let me not do that. Let's go Ernest Youngman in there as well, and then let's go with We've already used the... Actually, we can go Wolf. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess this can be the induction of Ernest Youngman into the Syndicate. And we'll give Ernest the victory there as well. I think it does need to be scripted just because of... I think Will's 54 psychology. That's an interesting match. That's another two stables going at it, which I do kind of like. Although, not official. I guess we can make it official. So let me modify the stable, and I think what we'll do is we'll go Ernest, and I think we'll make him the heir to the stable as well. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. So Ernest is going to become the heir to the leadership of Wolf Hawkins' Syndicate stable, and I think that's not too bad. That's really not, and I think we can actually do an angle there as well. Let's go for Wolf. Let's go for Ernest, and then I guess we can have Chris Flynn in there as well. Maybe Menace for Flynn? I don't actually know if he has good Menace or not. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. Give that 8 minutes there. Did I make that storytelling? Yeah, I did. Perfect. Okay, moving on to a singles match, and I think we want to have Mark Speed take on T-Bone Bright. And we'll give... It only needs to be 10 minutes. We'll give the victory to T-Bone. And of course, this is going to be the catalyst for Mark Speed to get involved in the TV title match, which is going to be at the pay-per-view. I think we'll go... Let's go Ed Stone and T-Bone in an angle. I guess it would just be Ed Stone congratulating T-Bone and saying that he's looking forward to their match at the pay-per-view. What else? We probably need something... I mean, we haven't used Greg Gage. Haven't used... Let's have maybe Greg take on Felipe Caballero. It's kind of a throwaway match. But I do want to get Greg on the card. Okay, that's not too bad. Still haven't used Aaron Andrews or Jay Cord either. Oh no, I did. Well, I essentially put him in an angle, but yeah. Maybe we can go. Let's do a tag match, and let's have Jay Cord team up with maybe Killer Shark. I mean, it can kind of work, I guess. And then let's have... I mean, who do I even want to put on the other team? That's a good question. Yeah, that is a good question. Let's go for... I guess, yeah, let's do a tag team. Let's go Divine Fortune. We might have to lower that. We might have to lower all the match times. Actually, I think it can be called, can't it? Yeah. Yeah, we've only got 4 minutes to work with. Let's swap these two around. Work the crowd with that. Make this match our Wild Brawl, which kind of makes sense as it's going to be the bit of a storyline match. Oh, okay, Flynn's being used too much, so what we'll do is we'll actually take him out of this angle. Okay, I mean, I kind of need 2 more minutes, really. Alright, let's just take a minute off here. And we'll take a minute off here. Oh, we can take 2 minutes off there. Oopsies, okay. Now I can do one more angle for J-Cord. And Killer Shark. Okay, there we go. That's not too bad. Alright, there we go. That's a pretty good show. Let's book a couple of pre-shows. And I think we'll be good. We didn't use the women on this show, but again, the women are just... they're not great at the moment, are they? They're really not great. Anyway, we'll go Alina America and... let's go Ruby Reese. And they can take on Zoe Amos and Black Diamond. Give Zoe the victory there. On the pre-show. Alright, so there's that. What else do we need? We need... I guess we kind of just want to use whoever's left over. Maybe the tag teams as well. And just do that. Rich and Famous taking on the Cobras. Give the Cobras a nice victory there. Actually, I think they can be called... I think they're all, like, really good, so... yeah, they definitely can all be called. Needs to be on the pre-show, though. Again, I'm so not used to using pre-show matches anymore. It's a strange thing. And then finally, we'll go a 6-man tag. So we'll have Aaron Andrews... Ed Stone and Danny Fonzarelli. Yeah, we haven't used Danny this episode or this stream, so they can take on Maverick, Titan. They can actually be a decent tag team, Maverick and Titan, because of course we're splitting up the behemoths. So let's go Finley in there as well, actually. And we'll give the win to... I think we'll give it to Ed Stone. I think Ed Stone's probably going to be the next Greg Gage. I think we try and push up in a sort of similar fashion. He's still only, like, 30 years old, Ed Stone, so... yeah, well, 33, I guess. But he's very, very good. Very talented. Alright, what's our problem? Ernest being used far too much on the show. Can we lower it to 6? Is that going to fix that problem? No, not going to fix it. I guess if we lower the match length to 8, that will fix it. No. I think we'll just overuse him, to be honest. Let's just put that back to 8 and put that back to 10, because if we're going to overuse him, we may as well just go balls to the wall, really, and make sure it's going to at least benefit him a little bit. What was the other one? Hap Stander, too much refereeing. Johnson. This one? Hap Stander, there we go. Alright, so that needs to be the main event of the pre-show, and I think we're good. Let's run this show as well. Alright, so we started with a 47 rated women's match on the pre-show, where we have Zoe Amos and Black Diamond defeating Alina America and Ruby Reese. in 12-18 when Zoe Amos pinned Ruby Reese with a double cross. It's actually not a terrible women's match. It's pretty good, actually, considering neither of our two big stars are actually in it. We then go to a 62 rated tag team match where we have the American Cobras defeating Rich and Famous in 12-22 when Marvel Malloy pinned Jackpot Jordan with a Marvel Breaker. That's a good match. See, like, if I put that onto the main show, I don't think it would get a 62. It's the fact that it's on the pre-show. But I don't think you don't really gain any popularity from the pre-show in any of the other regions because it's not actually shown on television. It's literally only shown in the Mid-South. Anyway, we then go to an 81 rated pre-show main event. Wow. Really didn't expect this to be as good as it is. But we have Aaron Andrews, Ed Stone, and Danny Fonzarelli defeating Maverick, Titan, and Finley O'Faraday in 11-42 when Ed Stone pinned Titan with a party's over. Yeah, it's a good match. Really good match for the pre-show. Almost too good. Alright, so we then start the show off with an 82 rated opening match for the television show, with Greg Gage defeating Felipe Caballero in 10-17 by submission with a Proton Lock. Very interesting to get an 82 there. Obviously, Felipe being carried, but yeah, Greg doing impeccable work as always. We then go to a 96 rated angle from J Cord and Killer Shark. Of course, J Cord performing well off script, but yeah, Killer Shark performing poorly. I mean, he was only on Menace, so shouldn't really matter too much, but anyway. Their match together getting us an 81 rating where we have J Cord and Killer Shark teaming up, I think for the first time ever, and they defeat Divine Fortune in 10-27 when J Cord pinned Chance Fortune with a Cradle Pile Driver. And then, yeah, as you'd expect, J Cord carrying the match. 81's really good, though. We then go to a 99 rated angle. This is a very interesting pairing, actually. I didn't expect it to be that good. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ed Stone, like you said, congratulating T-Bone Bright on becoming the #1 contender. And of course, he says that he's looking forward to the match. And of course, T-Bone's also up in action next. That's also not a bad match for our mid-carders. We get a 73. We have T-Bone Bright defeating Mark Speed in 9-41 by pinfall with a T-Bone Lariat. That's a good match, definitely for the mid-card. But like I said, this is going to be a bit of a catalyst for our storyline going forward. We then go into a 60... Did I not put Wolf in the mat in the angle? I'm almost 100% sure I had Wolf in the angle. I guess not. Anyway, we get a 62 for the Syndicate angle, where it's Ernest Youngman. Let's just say it's just him announcing the fact that he's joining the Syndicate. And of course, he's going to be teaming up. T-Bone does well in Wild Brawls, if I script him. Yeah, okay. That might be why he did so well in the in that match. Because it was a Wild Brawl scripted. But yeah, Ernest officially joining the Syndicate here. Also getting a 62, which is not too bad. The next match, which is the Syndicate versus Thunder from Down Under, getting a 68, which is also relatively good considering popularity on this side, and of course a little bit of lacking popularity from Ernest as well. But we do have the Syndicate defeating Thunder from Down Under in 10-12 when Ernest Youngman pinned Will Beaumont with the hit. So Will taking a loss there, which is kind of unexpected. Probably should have made it somebody else, but maybe that can set up a nice little storyline for these two going forward. They are both the heirs to their respective stables' leadership as well. So that could be a cool little storyline for them going forward as well. Yeah, 68's pretty good. We then go into a 99 rated angle where we have J-Cord once again, this time cutting a promo onto Mighty Mo, his opponent at, Destructive Energy, which is our next pay-per-view. Again, we're still 1 point away from getting a 100, which we seem to get quite a lot back in the day. So I'm assuming some of these new updates, we're playing 1.18, but back in the day, we were hitting 100s with some of these guys. So interesting. They might have done a little bit of scaling back on the effectiveness of angles. But we go into Mighty Mo's match, which gets a 72, where we have Mighty Mo defeating Moriarty Schnell in 10:21 by pinfall with a plunging spinebuster. And yeah, Mighty Mo looked good out there. It's good to see Moriarty get a 33 as well, but hopefully this will boost his popularity up a little bit more. We then go into a 68 rated tag team match where we have Fat 40s and the Elite #1 contenders match, and we have the Elite defeating Fat 40s in 9:46 when Nate Johnson pinned Dazzling Dave Diamond with an elitism. Yeah, it's a good match. I mean, #1 contenders, the Elite. It's going to be a bit of a repeat. We might do like a tables match or something, actually. That could be a cool way to have the New Wave take on the Elite one more time. And of course, the pay-per-view is called Destructive Energy, so if they're destroying a table, it's kind of fitting. We then go into our main event, which doesn't do too well. I was hoping it might hit an 80, but we get a 77 here. So some of the other matches on the card doing quite a little bit better than our main event. But we do have Sammy Back and Brandon James defeating Troy Tornado and Joshua Taylor in 1944 when Sammy Back submitted Joshua Taylor with a back on your back. And then Sammy carried the match as well. Josh Taylor benefiting from a hot new move as well, but not good enough to get above an 80, unfortunately. Alright, so we end the show. We get an 81 overall rating, which I think is exactly the same as our current popularity. So we've only increased our popularity in 6 regions. And as you can see, we did indeed use Ernest Youngman too much on the show. But that was kind of by choice, really. We kind of wanted Ernest to be overused because I really want to try and get some of these, younger guys pushed up the roster as soon as possible. Alright, so Dwayne Frye has officially joined, which is perfect. As you can see, he's got 92 announcing there, so he's greatly going to benefit. And of course, we stole him away from SWF. So there we go. Very happy to steal the essentially the best announcer in the US away from our competitors. We get a 4.50 TV rating, so it's down a little bit, down about 50,000 viewers there. Just under 3.4 million. Not too bad though. It's really kind of around that same level. As you can see, this is the current size. So we're 81 across most of the regions in the US. Just Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and New England are at 80. And then over in Canada, we've got 79 across all the regions in Canada except for Maritimes. And then, yeah, Mexico's starting to take shape a little bit. We've got 27 popularity in these 2 regions here, and then about 18 in all the rest of the regions there as well. As far as the broadcasting, I should probably have showed you that a little bit earlier. But we did actually get a TV, well, it's not a TV deal, it's an internet deal with TV Mex. And yeah, they're small in Mexico, which is pretty good. We're still just kind of trying to push towards getting a better TV deal in Mexico. And then, of course, we've got Ace, which is very big in the US for our TV show. And then we've got Medium on Maple Leaf Sports for the TV show there as well. For the pay-per-views, we do have North America Prime Select, which is a huge pay-per-view carrier in all the regions in the US, Canada, and Mexico. And then we also have these ones here, which were the ones you start off with at the beginning of the game. But because we use North America Prime Select, we don't have to worry about those. So that's perfectly fine. Kind of curious to kind of see the popularity growth over the course of this episode for some of those, newer, younger workers that we've brought in over the last couple of months. Should be pretty decent. Guys like Will Bowman. I know he took a pinfall loss just then, but he was involved in, he has been involved in a few really good matches, even though he has lost quite a few of them. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the popularity growth for him, I guess for other guys like Jack Pride and for Moriarty, because Moriarty was just used in that match against Mo. You teamed up Joshua Taylor and Freddie Huggins and his sister, repackaged them as 1%ers. Tag team in a stable. Okay, it's an interesting thing to do. I mean, yeah, because we're really not using Joshua Taylor too much. He's kind of just like the upper mid carder that we're using at the moment to try and bring people up. I mean, Freddie's literally doing nothing at the moment. But I think, depending on what happens with Ed Stone, if Ed gets himself really over, then I'll probably push him up into the main event scene. But if he doesn't get over as a result of this television title reign that he's on at the moment, there's an interesting possibility that we could potentially put him back with Freddie Huggins and turn him heel. Anyway, who's this guy? Funky Fedora. He's not too bad. Got somewhat decent popularity there as well. How much would he be? Let's have a look. I mean, he would be relatively cheap as well. He's only 22 years old. I don't feel like we need any more workers, to be honest. I feel like we're kind of good on that front. Anyway, we do have other people we need to look at. Cameron Vesey. Ooh, I think we have to go for Cameron Vesey. What do you guys think? 100 basic. I mean, he's an incredible performer. I think everybody's going after him at the moment as well. So CWA, 119,000. SWF are in for 135,000. Same as US Pro. And then Burning Hammer are the same as CWA. I mean, so they're all 20%. I mean, we could maybe give him 30% bonus and match the offer of 134,000. I mean, he's 33 years old, so I'd probably want it to be like a 7-year contract. Signing bonuses? Yeah, I know they're massive. But the thing is, we've got like well over 30 million in the bank at the moment, so I would much prefer to get the best talent we can. And Cameron Vesey, he falls in that boat, but he just doesn't have any popularity in America. Like, it's very low. I guess what we could do is maybe we could do maybe like a whole month running in Canada. That could be pretty interesting because that would actually level him out. He'd be getting good match ratings, and then that would hopefully push over to his US popularity as well. So I think we're going to go in for him. We'll give him 30%. Exclusive written. We'll go 135,000. We'll give him 30% bonus. Owner. Yeah. I think that should be pretty good. Let's go 7 years. Because he'll be about, what, 40 years old by that point. And, yeah, we'll give him... I guess we'll just give him 135,000 signing bonus as well. I think that looks pretty good. That should probably be his best offer. Maybe I'll bump this up. Let's go 140,000. We're also giving him 30%, which is more than the other guys as well. We won't give him travel cover. I really hope he comes to us, man. I really hope he does, because if he goes to SWF, that could be a real problem. Anyway, we'll see what happens, because other people might change their offers as well. Bash Street. Yeah, he's pretty average. Hoss Hanley. Could steal away another SWF worker. And then Jacob Jett. Yeah, I'm not really... No, I mean, he's got really good star quality. He's got really good star quality, really good popularity there as well. No, I don't think we need him, though. I don't think we need him. I'd rather just go for the big guys. Agitator. Ah, very good. Yeah, never mind. We'll stick with Cameron. And that whole pursuit. How many days do we have left until the next TV show? Oh, 1 day. Okay. Let's get into the next TV show. We've got Calliope Woodchuck helping create a great backstage atmosphere, and Sabrina, yeah, lifting the locker room as well. Okay. Let's do some meddling. Let's go Greg, and let's go Brandon. No effect. Okay. I kind of don't want to even waste my time with that anymore. I feel like it's never going to get anywhere. But yeah. So let's do a tag team match. This is not going to be the main event. We'll book that in a second, but this is the go-home show. So what I want to do is have Ed Stone team up with T-Bone. Of course, they will be versing each other at the pay-per-view. And they're going to take on Mark Speed. And where is he? Who do I want to do? Let me have a look. Who are our heels? I mean, we could go Freddy. Actually, let's go Freddy. That kind of makes sense. Let's give a victory to... Let's give Mark Speed the victory. The loser can be T-Bone. I think it can be called as well, actually. Yeah. That should actually be a pretty good match. I like that. Oh, it needs to be scripted, my bad. There we go. Alright, so let's book the main event here as well. Let's blend two storylines together. And we'll go with Mighty Mo and the New Wave. And they're going to take on Jay Cord and the Elite. Yeah, that works. Let's go, we'll go 20 minutes with it. And then I think we want Mighty Mo winning. And we want the loser, yeah, Eddie Chandler, that's fine. Open called, slow build, decisive. However, I want to keep Jay Cord strong. Oxford to be the road agent there as well. Next match, let's go with Fat 40s to take on Rich and Famous. And I think I want to try and give Rich and Famous the victory here. I don't think Fat 40s are going to take it too well. We'll make it tainted, but I'm expecting them to complain. Yeah, I mean, let's see if Tanner will take the loss. Okay, no, he's furious, so we won't do that. So Dave Diamond will take the loss. We'll keep him strong as well. That's fine. There we go. I want to build up Rich and Famous, so we can give them a big win, and we can maybe give them an angle on the pay-per-view after the tag team title match, sort of declaring themselves the new #1 contenders. I think that'll be a good way of trying to get them over. Let's go up next. Let's go a singles match for Nikki Gilbert. Do we want to go maybe Greg? Yeah, let's do this. We'll go Greg Gage. We don't really have anything for Greg Gage at the moment, so yeah, he can take on Nikki Gilbert there. 10 minutes is fine as well. Can be called. Decisive. There we go. Alright, so that's a decent singles match. What else do we need to do? I guess the real question is, do I want to just go for maybe Joshua Taylor taking on Sammy Back? Let's do that, and then we're going to have an interesting finish to this match as well. So Sammy Back's going to be the winner, but yeah, I guess it'll be a cheap finish, and then we'll have a DQ finish. And I guess we should also have interference onto Sammy by Troy. Essentially ruining the match there. I might chuck that one. Needs to go up a little bit. I can go there. Yeah, that looks alright. Anything else I need to do? We've still got quite a lot of time left, but alright, Killer Shark. Killer Shark needs something to do. We need a storyline for him. I mean, essentially I can just keep feeding him to some like lower mid-carders and stuff, but I don't know, it's just kind of not beneficial to him that much, if that makes sense. Alright, so he's going to beat Elliot Thomas here. We'll make that our Wild Brawl match as well. Let's do angles now. I think we're actually decent for matches there. So let's have Mighty Mo on the New Wave. So Guide and Scout. That can be our pre-main event angle. I think we'll script them as well. I guess we won't. Up next, I think we'll go Greg Gage. Be an interesting angle for him because he'll essentially just be upset that he's not really in a match at the pay-per-view. Let's have Sammy cut on Troy Tornado once again, leading into the pay-per-view. And that, of course, is going to advance that storyline there. That can go there. What else do we need? Maybe go Mark Speed cutting an angle. Ladies? Ooh, yeah. What about the ladies? Yeah, I mean, I guess we can go one extra match as well. Let me do a Killer Shark Menace angle just for 4 minutes to open the show. Prior to his opening match. So that'll go there. We got Sammy, we got Troy, yep. Yeah, let's go a women's match, we'll just chuck it in somewhere. Yeah, let's do this. So let's go Tiffany Jade gonna team up with her competitor, her #1 contender. And they can take on Alina and maybe Sabrina? Yeah, let's go Sabrina. Alina and Sabrina. Okay, never mind. We won't do that. Let's go Ruby Reese and Sabrina. Just a nice little 10-minute match. Give Tiffany the win. She hasn't really been seen on TV. We haven't actually used her this whole month. Noah, the menace angles have to be below 5 minutes. So 4 minutes if they're... Basically, if it's only menace in the angle, it has to be below 5 minutes. But if you have anyone else on entertainment or microphone, it can be above, yeah. I hope that explains it well enough. I think it does need to be scripted, yeah. Not too sure these girls are good enough yet. Yeah, 50 psychology. She's 61. I mean, Sabrina's actually pretty good, man. She's really good. Interesting. I didn't think she was going to be that talented. I thought Ruby was actually better. Actually, what we can do with the women, let's work the crowd. Seeing as they're going to go on first. 125 minutes perfectly booked there as well. Alright, pre-show. What are we doing? Let's go the Puerto Rican boys. They can take on... who can they take on? Yeah, let's go Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue. We'll give them a victory. 12 minutes on the pre-show. Let's give it to Willie. He's the better wrestler. Moriarty's the better talker. Pre-show, good match. Next, we'll go a 6-man. Let's use Brandon James, Aaron Andrews, who we don't also have anything for. Actually, we should have booked... Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake. I should have booked Aaron Andrews and Greg Gage. I guess we can do that next month. Who else can they have on their team? We could maybe go Will Beaumont, but I don't really... Danny... Let's use our Human Arsenal. We haven't used him. And they can take on... Yeah, they can take on Goya, Blackburn, and who was the other guy? Yeah, Hikichi, there we go. All right, that looks pretty good. So let's give Brandon James a victory. I think did he lose? No, I think he won actually on that last main event. There we go. That should actually be a pretty good match with the 3 face competitors involved. It'll probably be our main event there. And then let's go a women's match again. Let's go Alina taking on Juliet Balconi, who we haven't used this episode either. And Alina can get a nice victory there as well. I think it needs to be scripted. Maybe not. Yeah, Juliet's a little bit better than I thought she was as well. Not that it really matters, it's only a pre-show match, but... There we go. Okay. Go home show. For our last show of the live stream, actually. Let's run it. So we start off with a 48 rated women's match, where we have Alina America defeating Juliet Balconi in 12-11 by pinfall with a Southern Lights bomb. It's a pretty good match. We then go into a 43 rated tag team match where we have Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue defeating the Puerto Rican boys in 11-41 when Willie pinned Island Boy Apollo with a reverse DDT. Both members of the Puerto Rican boys off their games. Unfortunate, but we haven't actually... Well, I think we used them once on the stream so far, so... Yeah, it's okay. And then finally we move into the last pre-show match, getting a 61 rating here, where we have Brandon James, Aaron Andrews, and Human Arsenal defeating Pride, Glory, Honor in 12 minutes when Brandon James pinned Nobuyo Hikichi with a big money move. Struggled to get his name out there. Really struggled. Anyway, we kick the show off with a 55 rated women's tag team match. Where we have Tiffany Jade and Zoe Amos defeating Ruby Reese and Sabrina Wells in 10 minutes 8 seconds when Tiffany Jade pinned Sabrina with a green Destiny. And then, yeah, as you'd expect, Tiffany was head and shoulders above everybody in the match. Although we have excellent chemistry teaming together for Ruby Reese and Sabrina Wells. So they're essentially going to be a tag team now. They kind of almost look like a bit of a tag team. I think I'm going to call them polar opposites because I feel like that kind of makes sense. In my mind, they would have very different personalities. Obviously, different hair color as well. We got blonde there for Sabrina, and Ruby's got a brunette hair color as well. And obviously, Sabrina seems very pink and very girlish, whereas Ruby Reese seems a bit more like a tomboy, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird way of saying it, but she's probably less feminine and tends to like other things that other girls probably don't like a little bit more. So, Polar Opposites sounds like a good tag team name. Anyway, moving on to a 79 Menace angle from Killer Shark. And again, he doesn't really have anything to do either, but he's going to be involved in a matchup next, which isn't very good. Only gets a 48 rating, where we have Killer Shark defeating Elliot Thomas in 10-18 by pinfall with a big bite. Again, it's sort of just a throwaway match just to keep Killer Shark winning, to be honest. We then go into a pretty decent angle here. Promo from Sammy Back, getting an 88 rating. And of course, he cuts a scathing promo onto Troy Tornado, saying that, there's a good reason why Troy isn't in the title picture, or he hasn't been for a long time. And that is, of course, because he's not good enough. And he hasn't been for most of his career. Of course, he had a brief spell where he looked like he was going to be, a top main event star, but he faded away. And Sammy Back doesn't fade away, even at the ripe age of 40 years old. We then go into an 82 rated match where we have Sammy Back defeating Joshua Taylor in 10:09 when Joshua Taylor was disqualified when Troy Tornado ran in and attacked Sammy Back. So yeah. So essentially, Troy Tornado is half aligned with Joshua Taylor. They're not actual. They're not in any sort of alliance with each other, but they both really dislike Sammy back. That's what it can be put down to, essentially. And yeah, essentially Troy costing Joshua a match against Sammy. Really good match rating, though, 82. We then go into another really good match where we get a 77 for our mid-card title storyline we got going on at the moment. And we have Mark Speed and Freddie Huggins defeating Ed Stone and T-Bone Bright in 11:54 when Mark Speed submitted T-Bone with a cross arm breaker. Interesting, very interesting. Okay. We then move into an 81 rated angle here from Greg Gage. He did struggle going off script, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, doesn't really matter because like I said, we're not really doing anything with him this month. But I think we will have Aaron Andrews and him involved in a storyline next month. I think that's probably the best way to go about things. His match, though, does extremely well. Extremely well. Getting an 84 rating here in a 10-minute match where we have Greg Gage defeating Nikki Gilbert in 9:39 by submission with a proton lock. Yeah, some of these match ratings seem pretty ridiculous because they seem to be a lot higher than a 20-minute called match with a slow build. Don't really understand it that much. Anyway, 84. We then go into a 55 rated tag team match where we have Rich and Famous pulling off an upset victory, defeating Fat 40s in 10-10 when Jake Idol pinned Dazzling Dave Diamond, illegally using the ropes for leverage. Yeah, Rich and Famous pull off an upset victory and can potentially throw their hands up as #1 contenders going forward. We'll have to wait and see how that goes, though. But yeah, 55 is not too bad. We then go into the pre-main event angle, getting us an 83 rating here, where we have Mighty Mo teaming up and talking backstage to guide and scout the New Wave. And yeah, they all did pretty well. Mighty Mo and Guide working well off script, which I thought was going to be a little bit of a worry with the New Wave, but they're okay. And the main event gets us an 84, so it's the same as our other best match on the card, which is actually pretty decent. But we do have Mighty Mo on the New Wave defeating Jay Cord and the Elite in 20 minutes, 21 seconds when Mighty Mo pinned Eddie Chandler with a plunging spine buster. And yeah, as you expect, Jay Cord head and shoulders above everybody else with a 98 in-ring performance. We also had Mighty Mo with an 88 in-ring performance in this main event as well. Yeah, that is the show. The go-home show for Destructive Energy. We get an 83 overall rating, increasing our popularity in 6 regions, which is essentially just Canada. Not Canada, Mexico. And again, we would have gained a point of popularity, but it was restricted due to the limited number of viewers in the Maritimes, which does it sucks. I think our popularity is going to be stuck at 78 there for quite some time. All right, what do we got going on? Ariel Breaks. Ooh. She's very, very talented. She's actually not that good. I thought she was better. Yeah, I don't know. That's a bit of a tough one. I mean, she doesn't even really have the popularity in Canada even. You got Skip Bow. I mean, it's not too bad, but again, I mean, the CWA workers, unless they're Cameron Vesey, we're probably not going to be too interested in them. So, yeah. Anyway, we've got an opinion here for Willie LaRue. And yeah, he thinks he's clumsy, and he'd like us to cut the kid loose before somebody gets seriously hurt. Now, it's not going to be happening because he's on a 10-year contract. I mean, his safety is 63. Come on, man, it's not that bad. It's really not. Anyway. Apparently, Joel Bryant thinks Daigo Goya is pretty good in the ring. I mean, he's actually not too bad. But he's only on excursion, so I don't really want to... There's no real point in pushing him too much. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's have a look at Supreme TV. They got, 87 rated main event for Valiant and the Crippler. Interesting stuff there. I would like to steal Valiant away. Probably not the Crippler, too old. But there we go. Very interesting match. Very interesting. They only got an 80 overall. And they were in Hawaii, which is very sort of strange. Do I have any goals for the women? Not really. I just wanted to bring them in. See, it's just kind of an experiment, more or less. See what we can do with them. And, yeah. We've got Tiffany Jade, who is probably one of the better women's wrestlers in the game. I could always, go to Japan and sign some of the best Japanese women, but like I said, it's more of a project. I just want to try and bring some other girls up into the actual fray themselves. Anyway, let's we got 4 days left, so let me just advance 2 days here. I just want to see if we get any updates for Cameron Vesey's contract. I'm kind of nervous a little bit about it. I kind of wish that I had offered a little bit more money than SWF and US Pro, like maybe 140,000, because someone of Vesey's quality doesn't really come around all that often. Their contracts very rarely come up at the moment. Okay, so yeah, rival bid updates. Let's see what they updated to. Let's have a look. Okay, it's only 136. I might go 140. Yeah, let's just go 140. Let's go 142. Might be unnecessary, but let's just do it. I think everything else is kind of good there. I think 100. He might accept 142. We're giving him 30% bonus as well. I really do hope that he comes to us, because he would be... is he a heel or a face? I'm not 100% sure. I should probably check that. Not that it matters, but I would prefer him to be a face to take on Jay Cord. I think that could be a really interesting storyline we do down the line. Amazing heel. Okay, I mean, we always have Aaron Andrews, Mighty Mo. What other? Sammy Back as well. I mean, there's 3 really, really solid matches that he could have anyway. And there's always a possibility I could, turn Jay Cord if I really wanted to. I don't really want to, though. Alright, so they think Damien Dassley, who is also on our roster. I mean, I should really use Damien a little bit more as well. Alright, so Dazzling Dave Diamond's contract is running out. He is 42 years old, but I do like him as sort of a backup tag team. I think I'd like to just get him on like a 1-year contract, though. Try and get him on like 20,000, and let's negotiate a little bit. Yeah, to pass the torch, no cover. Try 20% there. Let's get rid of that. That might help. Okay, that helped a little bit. So 20,780. That's not too bad, actually. It's pretty close to what I wanted. But he wants 25% of the merchandise. All right, there we go. Keep him for one more year. I think he's beneficial. And I can always, job his popularity out if I really wanted to. Okay, so... yeah, alright. We may as well just get in and start booking the pay-per-view, really. Because, like I said, I do really want to see if we can have a look at everybody's popularity. Awesome. So we've got Aaron Andrews passing on tips on using psychology to his protege, Moriarty Schnell, which is perfect. Anything that helps Moriarty is pretty good in my books. So we're in the Dust Bowl fields. We're going to hopefully sell that out pretty easily there. Expecting nearly 52,000 people. Alright, so our main event is going to be Jay Cord taking on Mighty Mo. Going to be a good match. Don't think... yeah, I mean, Jay Cord's popularity actually went up this month, even with that loss that he took on the Go Home show. So that's pretty crazy. But I'm very happy with it. Anyway, the only problem is match length. Now, throughout this whole series, match length has been a real issue. Now, I'm going to give this match 30 minutes because obviously we've had quite a few updates since the last time I streamed TCW. I'm hoping that these longer matches are going to be better in the eyes of the game. Maybe it won't be, but it should still be a good match, even though it is 30 minutes long. Okay. Next match, we're going to go the Elite. Oh, I wanted to do a tables match, didn't I? So 2v2 tables. There we go. New Wave taking on... where are we? The Elite. Okay, we'll give it... I think we'll just give it 12 minutes. Actually, we'll give it 20 minutes. We'll give him a decent amount of time. Alright, there we go. That's pretty much going to end the storyline between these tag teams. Yeah, we can sort that out next episode. Next match is going to be our television title match. So Ed Stone taking on T-Bone Bright. We'll give this one 20 minutes as well. Actually, you know what? Let's give this 12 minutes. And we'll make it our Wild Brawl match. There we go. Television title on the line, of course. Nice. Women's match up next. So it is going to be Tiffany... heel versus heel. Tiffany taking on Zoe Amos. This can be our storytelling match as well. Just because. No real reason behind it, but there we go. Women's title on the line. We'll put that one there. Then we need Sammy back, Troy Tornado. Where are we? Sammy and Troy. I mean, this should be a pretty good match as well. We'll give it 20 minutes. Pretty obvious who's getting the victory in this one, though. It's not too hard to guess. Okay. What else have we got? What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting something. Oh, maybe I'm not forgetting anything. Let's just, we'll kick things off with a six-man tag. I mean, Aaron Andrews' popularity is pretty incredible. Let's go Aaron Andrews, and he can team up with maybe a tag team. Maybe not. Let's just go some faces. Let's go Brandon James and maybe Tanner. Yeah, we'll go Tanner the Mighty. Will we? Let's go Benny Benson. Yeah. And I think maybe they can take on the... Yeah, let's do that. They can take on the Syndicate. Ernest and... Where's the last guy? Where is he? Chris Flynn, there he is, up top. For some reason I missed him. I think we'll give this one... Do I want to give it 20? I don't think we can. Can we give it 20? Might be risky. We'll give it 20, but I think that'll be overusing Ernest. And we'll give Andrews the victory. The loser can be Flynn. That's fine. Open. I think it can be called, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're both being used far too much. Okay, that needs to be a 12-minute match then. That's fine. There we go. That's not too bad. Actually gets Aaron Andrews onto the card, along with Wolf Hawkins as well. What else? Greg and Andrew. That's going to be next month. We'll build towards that for our next pay-per-view. I'll put them... they're going to be involved in a storyline going forward. Individually. Yeah, I mean, we could probably give Greg a match. What do I want to do, though? Because I kind of wanted to get Killer Shark on here, but... There's no one for him to really verse. What faces do we have left? Ooh, Tanner. Let's do Tanner versus Killer Shark. Obviously, we didn't book towards this match, but I think it actually will be pretty good. Two big boys going at it. Oh, okay. 10 minutes? Please tell me you can go 10 minutes. Okay. Let me move that one down one. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's do some angles, because we've got a lot of angles to do. Let's go both of them, J-Cord and Mighty Mo. I kind of like that. There we go. World Heavyweight title storyline advance as well. Ooh, one thing we do need to do. I completely forgot, but let's go announcers, and we're going to chuck on... Well, we have Mitch Nace, which is interesting, but we're going to get rid of Lee Bambino. And we need, what's his name? Dwayne Frye. Dwayne Frye for events. I mean, I kind of want Dwayne to be there. And then we'll go Mitch Nace here. Okay, Ernie Turner staying as color. That's very low experience, which is actually not too bad. Another sneeze there. Ooh. Yeah, I will save that. I'm just kind of wondering, is it going to fix all the matches? It's not. Well, I definitely want the main event to have him. I mean, now I have to go through and change every single one. Frustrating. It's fine though. It's fine because I do want him to be You know, he's available for the pay-per-view, so I may as well put him on there. Even though I actually forgot originally, but it is what it is. Change it all very quickly. Okay. There we go. Alright, next we'll go with, I think, Tiffany Jade. She can have a nice angle for herself as well. She's just down there. Sammy back, Troy Tornado. Let's go Sammy by himself. I just want to do a little bit of a test and see what he gets. Just how much time do we have left? Let me have a look. We still got a little bit of time. Okay, let's do a menace angle for Killer Shark. Menace. It's also May. Brent Hill's fine. That'll go there. What's our problems here? So Ray has too much refereeing already. Right, let's fix that really quick. Actually, I want that match to be... This match here can be... App Stander. Fix that problem. No, it does not. Okay. The women's match can be Hap Stander as well. And then we also need to do road agenting. So that can be Bryant. They still have too much refereeing to do. Okay. Actually, that match can be Bryant as well. Okay, there we go. We fixed it. Okay. Ed Stone needs an angle. Actually, I didn't do what I wanted to do for this match properly, did I? So I wanted outside interference finish. And I guess I want it to be a tainted victory as well. Not on purpose, obviously, but outside interference finish on T-Bone by Mark Speed. That was kind of the storyline we were going with. So Mark Speed's going to cost T-Bone the television title. And I guess what we'll do, I'll move the women's match up above there. Because I would like to do an angle underneath where we're going to have Mark Speed cut an entertainment angle onto T-Bone. And that's gonna lead to their sort of storyline together. We're gonna have like a little mini mid-card title storyline that's not actually for the title itself. It's kind of the competitors, I guess, going at it. It needs to go after the match. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. We could maybe do an angle here. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to change this match. We're going to change the outcome here. We're going to have Ernest Youngman pick up the victory. The loser is going to be Benson. And then I guess we'll also keep Aaron Andrews strong because it's Aaron Andrews, and I don't want him to lose any of his 90 popularity. So I think that looks pretty good there, actually. I think that's a better outcome as well. And it's going to benefit Ernest Youngman a lot more than it would having the Syndicate lose. And that way, Andrews stays strong. Wolf gets the victory, so he's still staying strong as well. And then we get the victory there for Ernest. Yeah, I really like that. Anyway, is there anything else we need to do? I think that might be everything. I might just go an Ed Stone angle, just for the sake of doing it. Because obviously he's going to retain his title, so... Oh, okay, well, maybe we can't do it. I give it 6. Okay, 6 minute works, yeah. 6. minutes work. Man, can't get my words out. Ed Stone. One more. Where is it? Number 6. There we go. All right, there we go. That looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Let's book some pre-show matches, get some more people on the card. Sharks is too long just for Menace. Is it not 4 minutes? Ooh, you are correct. Thank you, Noah. 4 minutes. There we go. I guess if we do that 4 minutes, we can probably give Ed back his extra 2. Make that 8. Yeah, that works a lot better. More beneficial. All right. Yes. So tag match, I want to just use the tag teams that we've got left. So Divine Fortune can take on the Latino Kings. Give that 12 minutes. Give our Chance a victory there, even though I like Daryl more, but I think we have to script that match. Do we have to script it still? Yes, we do. God damn it, Hector. I was hoping that Hector might have just got enough psychology to start calling. But of course he doesn't. Let's do our Stable Warfare as well on the pre-show. I know I kind of wanted to do it on the actual pay-per-view itself, but yeah, we're not going to be able to do it. Which is fine. It's fine. But yeah, Jack Pride teaming up with his boys Moriarty Schnell and Willie LaRue. Gotta wear shades. And they're going to take on Thunder from Down Under. There we go. Give that 12 minutes. It's a good pre-show match. Like I said, I would much prefer it to actually be on the pay-per-view itself, but it's not time. It's not time. They're not ready yet, the boys. Hapstander. Okay, what's our problem now? Hapstander and Bryant. Okay. So we'll go Parker. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't matter. There we go. That's fine. And then let's go a 4-on-4. 8-man tag. Let's go Rich and Famous, and they can team up with Maverick and Mark Speed. Is that fine? Yeah, it should be fine. Oh, maybe Joshua Taylor. Yeah, we'll go Joshua Taylor instead. And they can take on the Puerto Rican boys and Danny Fonzarelli and Bart Biggins. There we go. We'll make Parker Terry the Red Agent, and we'll give the victory to Jackpot Jordan. Do we need a script? I don't think we need a script, actually. Yeah, I think we're fine. Okay. Let's move that there. I think we're good. Let's run the pay-per-view and the last show of the stream as well. We're going to go through popularity increases and stuff as well, but let's run it. All right, so we start off with a 46 rated 6-man tag. We got our Stable Wars going on here. And we got Thunder from Down Under defeating Gotta Wear Shades in 12:28 when Will Beaumont pinned Primetime Jack Pride with a rocker dropper. And as you'd expect, Nikki Gilbert being the head and shoulders or the top in-ring performer, also benefiting from having a groundswell of public support as well. And we did indeed sell out the Dust Bowl fields. We then go into a 60 rated 8-man tag on the pre-show where we have Maverick, Joshua Taylor, and Rich and Famous defeating Danny Fonzarelli, Bart Biggins, and the Puerto Rican boys in 12:05 when Jackpot Jordan pinned Kid San Juan with a cash-in. Yeah, good match. Really good match. And the final pre-show match, getting a 56, we have Divine Fortune defeating the Latino Kings in 11:52 when Chance Fortune pinned Hector Galindo with a stroke of luck. Nice. All right. Let's kick things off for the pay-per-view. Here we go. Destructive Energy. We kick things off with the the destructive man himself, and that is Killer Shark, getting a 77 for his menace angle. He does have a gimmick that is getting stale though, so we might have to tweak that up. Anyway, leading into his match, which gets a 61, where we have Killer Shark defeating Tanner the Mighty in 10 minutes by pinfall with a big bite. So we got the two big boys, the giants, if you will, taking on each other. That's a good match. I mean, I would assume it'd be a pretty decent performance in real life if we could see Killer Shark getting the victory over Tanner. We then move into a 100 rated angle from Sammy back. This is kind of what I was used to seeing, I would say, back when we were streaming this, more constantly. Sammy was always good for a 100 by himself. Did a masterful job improvising interactions with the crowd. Still deserved better announcing, which is crazy. Yeah. Better color commentary. Ernie Turner, our color commentator, pretty weak. But Sammy benefiting from having a hot catchphrase as well. Leading into his match, which gets an 82. We have Sammy back defeating Troy Tornado in 1953 by submission with a back on your back. Good match. Happy with Sammy. Got an 81 in-ring performance there as well. And yeah, just a really good match that we kind of built towards. I'm very happy with that. Alright, we then move straight into our 6-man match where we get a 79 rating, where we have the Syndicate defeating Aaron Andrews, Brandon James, and Benny Benson in just under 12 minutes when Ernest Youngman pinned Benny Benson with the hit. So yeah, the Syndicate picking up a big victory there. And you'd have to imagine that Wolf Hawkins would be pretty happy with the way things are going. Of course, Ernest picking up the victory, picking up the pinfall in this match here as well. And things are starting to turn around for the Syndicate. Of course, you'd have to say they were on the brink. They look like they were on the brink of, falling apart. Anyway, things are turning around. Big victory there. We then go into a 72 rated angle from Tiffany Jade. And she used the freedom off script to improvise well, leading into her second title defense, which gets a 61 rating. Where we have Tiffany Jade, that's her first title defense. Tiffany Jade defeating Zoe Amos in 12-14 by pinfall with a Green Destiny. And we got Tiffany Jade making defense number 1 of her TCW women's title. Good stuff. All right. We then move into a 90 rated angle from Ed Stone. Definitely a good promo. He's kind of impressing me a little bit. He definitely is. But let's see what this match is going to be like. It's only going to be was it a 12-minute match? I think it was, because we did Wild Brawl. That was pretty good, though. 74, that's kind of what I would expect at a minimum, I guess, from our mid-carders. But we do have Ed Stone defeating T-Bone Bright in 11:43 by pinfall with a parties over following interference from Mark Speed. Ed Stone making defense number 9 of the TCW television title. So yeah. Ed's starting to catch up with Greg Gage. I think Greg I'm pretty sure he had 15 title defenses, so that's really getting up there. Anyway, I need to take a sip of water here. Alright, let's continue. Yeah, another really good title defense there from Ed Stone. Alright, so we then go into a 65 rated angle where we have Mark Speed, and of course he was essentially, I know we couldn't see it there, but he was the cause behind the pinfall loss. And of course, T-Bone Bright's pretty pissed off, but Mark Speed says, I did that on purpose to you. You cost me my chance at becoming the number 1 contender. Right now, Mark Speed believes that he should be the current television champion. And of course, neither of them are the champion at the moment. So there we go. It's gonna lead to them facing at the next pay-per-view, I think. That's a good way of booking. Alright, we then go into an 82 rated match here where we have the New Wave defeating the Elite in a tables match in just over 20 minutes. Nate Johnson was eliminated first, then Guide, and finally Eddie Chandler, the new wave making defense number 4 of the TCW World Tag Team titles. Yeah, good stuff. And of course, advancing the One Last Run, which is the new wave storyline that we got going on at the moment. But an 82 is really, really good. That's like a top level, like a main event level performance, to be honest. And it's much higher than their in-ring performances. So the old boys are getting it done. The old boys are getting it done for sure. All right, we then go into a 97 rated angle where we have Jay Cord and Mighty Mo. And of course, Jay says, "This is it, Mo. This is it. You know, you're never going to get another opportunity while I'm still the champion. This is your final chance to really capture gold here in TCW. But you know what? It's not going to happen. You know why? Because you're just not on my level." And that's pretty evident. Jay Cord's, I would say, levels above pretty much everybody on our roster. Maybe apart from Andrews, but even then I would say he probably just edges Andrews out just a little bit. Anyway, really good angle there leading into the main event. And that's a really, really good match. I'm not sure if that might be our best ever match of the whole series. And it looks like they might have actually fixed the 30-minute matches. Because this match back when I used to stream the series more often, like 2 or 3 months ago, this match would have got like an 80, 82 or something like that, but it's got an 88 for our pay-per-view main event here, which is great. There still were a couple of little penalties here, which is fine because, you know, there's a good enough reason for this penalty to be here. But we do have Jay Cord defeating Mighty Mo in 29 minutes, 50 seconds by pinfall with a cradle pile driver. And we have Jay Cord making defense number 4 of the TCW World Heavyweight title. Great stuff, man. I'm really happy with the 88 there. Be a little bit more happy with the 90, but the 88's really good. And as you can see, the match did suffer because there was not enough selling shown. So that's kind of the penalty that I can accept. The other penalty was the color commentary. But there's nothing we can do about the color commentary. There's just no one better than Ernie Turner that is available right now. Let's take a look at the dirt sheet here as well. Okay, so there was a little penalty there for the crowd starting to get burned out. So yeah. I mean, if we calm the crowd down, maybe with the women's match, that would have been a smart idea. But of course, the tag title match was an 82, which is a pretty high rating. Anyway, very happy with an 88 for the main event there. And as you can see, we get an 89 rated show for our pay-per-view, Destructive Energy. So that's very, very good. Very good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So close to a 90 as well. But yeah, increasing our popularity in all 24 regions that we are showing on at the moment. So that's perfect. Let's give some praise out. I think I'm just going to go Mighty Mo, Jay Cord. That main event was pretty outstanding. And then I think I might go for... Do I want to go Ed Stone? I might go Guide, actually. I think Guide had the best in-ring performance for the tag team title match there. I mean, Send Me Back would have been another, half-decent option to praise. He pulled off a pretty good match that he carried as well. Anyway, that's a really good pay-per-view. I mean, for our first live stream back in a couple of months, that's not too bad. Too bad Steffi Chi has retired. Although she's just opened a new training school called House of Chi. Hopefully that's a women's dojo. But there we go. USA area battle result. TCW finishing first out of 3 in the American area battle. So we beat out US Pro and we beat out SWF. I think that might be the first time, actually. I don't remember beating them both. I think we've come second quite a few times, but yeah, interesting. Okay, so the pay-per-view buy rate getting a 6.82 as well. 3.4 million buyers, which I think is massive. That's really, really big. Yeah, it's quite a good show. Quite a good show indeed. And we made just over $4 million last month as well. So what I think I'm going to do here, actually, we need to upgrade our merchandise as well. Because we're currently level 9. So let's just go rapid. That'll upgrade each week as well. Each week or each month? Yeah, each week. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if you look at the merchandise sales, very interesting. Obviously, Andrews being a face, I think, has the chance to make more money through merchandise. But yeah, J-Cord, not too far behind, but their popularity is obviously very, very similar. Anyway, let's take a look at the roster. I want to have a look at popularity for some people. Let's have a look at Ed Stone. So Ed's up to 70s, which I think is up a little bit. Yeah, he was at about 69. Well, yeah. I mean, he was at 69s for last month. Ernest is up. He's up a little bit as well. He's up to 42 in the Mid-South, which is decent. Up from 39 last month. So he's up about 3 to 4 points in every region, which is nice to see. We didn't really use Greg too much, but even he's gone up like 1 to 2 points here and there. Actually, pretty much 1 point in nearly every region. So that's also okay. I'm happy with that. What about these boys? I didn't get to do their angle, but we'll do it on the next TV show, I think. J-Cord's officially gone up to above 90s for everything now, which is massive, because he was at 88 at the start of last month. So he's up above 90s. He's got 92 in the Tri-State, and a couple of 91s there as well. Who else have we got? Killer Shark, didn't really do too much. He's probably up a little bit, up a couple of points. Mighty Mo, he's gone up a lot in the Mid-South. Yeah, he's gone up a lot everywhere, to be fair, but he's gone up 5 points in the Mid-South, from a 79 up to an 84, which is quite a big increase. Moriarty Schnell up to a 33 there. What about Gilbert? Gilbert's up to a 26. Starting to get a little bit popular in every region, though, for Gilbert. Where are we? Sammy back. 81s. Yeah, I mean, it's up a little bit. Up 3 to 4 points in most of the regions there from the last month. I think he'll probably be our #1 contender now, I would say. Who else have we got? T-Bone. 67s. Is that up a little bit? It's about the same. He's got 68 in a couple of regions. 67 in a couple that he was 66. So I guess he gained 1 point. Tiffany Jade. Always important to check our... she didn't gain anything, which is unfortunate, but that might be because all the rest of the women aren't good enough, to be honest. I don't know. I'm sure she'll improve in the future anyway. So Will Beaumont up to 21 in the Mid-South, kind of 19 for every other region, which hasn't actually gone up, so that's pretty frustrating. I think we need to just do angles for our stables, I think, instead of having them in matches, because the sooner we get them up in popularity, the sooner we can actually put them in matches to win. Because, yeah, at the moment we just can't do it. But I think that's good. I think that's pretty much everyone that we needed to really check. What about Andrews? Yeah, so he's got some 91s. He's got some 88s in there as well. It's about the same. He's gained a couple of points here and there. over some of the regions, so that's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's not too bad, actually. Not too bad at all. Okay, well, that's going to wrap up the stream, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you give the video a like and, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel. But make sure you also click the link in the description down below. Come over to the Twitch channel, hit the follow button on the Twitch channel, and then hopefully you'll be notified when I do live stream this series in the future. I'm going to try and do it a little bit more often. Not too consistent. I'm not going to have consistent days. It's kind of just when I have the time. Because obviously between work, I've got some other studying stuff that I got coming up as well. So between all that, we'll see when I can fit in some more streams. But obviously, if you're interested in more content, we've got the local to global on the YouTube channel as well. So make sure you check that out. Anyway, apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy and goodbye.